Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This video is going to be about harassment and abuse that mulatto and mixed race people face in the Black community mainly. They can face it in other communities as well, like in the white community as well. But this video is going to touch on the abuse that they face in the Black community because I believe it's a very pervasive issue that's not talked about. And it's one of the unfortunate consequences of forcing the mulattoes and mixed race people to be with the Black community, to be in a community of people that don't respect you, that don't understand you, that don't even want you to be there or to exist. So this is coming from my own observance and experience growing up in the Black community for most of my youth. So I grew up in PG County, which is where I lived. It was an even distance between DC and Baltimore, like 15 to 20 miles. And being around that many Black people, then you learn a lot of things. You learn how they truly view you as a mixed race or a mulatto person. You learn just how much of an obsession and fetishization they have with us. So where I'm going with this is there is a lot of mulatto children, teenagers who are and were abused by Black people, whether that was their family or just someone within the community. But it's something that happens. These Black people who abuse them, they purposefully target them for being a mulatto or what they call a light skin. I've heard stories, I've read stories of mixed race people, of mulatto people who spoke on this even recently, where they said it was their own Black family member who abused them and even made racial comments about them being mixed race. And I've seen and heard these stories on Instagram, on other people's YouTube channels that make content about being mixed race and light skin. And it's worth talking about because this is psychological warfare. I mean, you have these mixed race people, mulatto people that are getting abused and harassed by a certain demographic, and then they're also being guilt tripped and told that they need to fight for those same people that are harassing them and abusing them and try to make their lives harder. And they're being told to identify with their abusers and to be their savior. And that's just really sick. I mean, even if it wasn't like sexual abuse or harassment, even if it was like a different kind of abuse, I mean, it's still sick. And a lot of mixed race people are experiencing this. And where I grew up, people just felt entitled to just touch you. Like, I know a lot of us have experienced like Black people trying to touch your hair and being like, oh, it's soft or whatever. But then they also feel entitled to just make these weird fetishizing comments about us and our bodies and speculating like what we look like intimately. And back on the abuse topic, I believe that's why a lot of mixed race mulatto people are part of the whole queer LGBT movement, because I'm not gonna be PC on my channel. Like, a lot of us know that people who are in that lifestyle, in that community, they are that way because something happened to them, like 9 times out of 10. And where I'm from, there is a heavy DL culture. And a lot of times those Black people, whether they were DL or if they were open, their partners were mulatto or light skin. And I know there's this stereotype of the whole, like, they try to say light skinned men are soft and they're gay and feminine, but where I'm from, a lot of them really did like play into that stereotype. I mean, not all of them, of course, but there were a lot of those like light skinned and mulatto guys who were just, queer and LGB and, the whole sassy catty thing. And we see them on TikTok too. Like, I've seen, and I'm sure you guys have seen those ones who play into that role. And unfortunately, a lot of these people got turned out in the Black community. And so that's why they stay there and join forces with the whole queer LGB thing. Because they're just used to being in that role. Like, they've just accepted that subordinate position. And, it's really sad. And even with the women too, I've noticed, like, as I got older, that there were more and more butch and masculine mulatto women, light-skinned women. And then even with the LGB partners, usually what I observe is that if it were two men, then the dark-skinned guy would be the masculine one, and then the light-skinned guy or the mixed guy would be like the more feminine one. And then if it were two women, then it was the mixed race woman who would be the masculine one. And then it would be the dark-skinned one who was feminine, or, at least as feminine as she could be. Because, the same thing that they're trying to do with the men, there are dark-skinned people and people in that whole weird community, that queer community, that are trying to do the same thing to mixed race women, because they view us mixed race people, mulatto people, as attractive. So they want a piece of us, but then it's weird because at the same time they hate us because we're competition. So it's like they do all these things to taint mixed race people. Like, even in my personal experience, I've experienced dark-skinned females and even just like Black females in general, acting some type of way towards me, whether that was in school or in the workplace. And then, like, out of nowhere, then they would just like switch, and then I would like see them checking me out. And then sometimes it was like they even wanted me to see that they were doing that. And then they would all like just be trying to touch me and just weird things. And, like I said, I've seen other people's experiences on Instagram and heard stories on YouTube. I even witnessed a light-skinned girl when I was in high school being attacked in that manner by a group of dark-skinned females. And this was in the school bathroom. And so that's what I gotta say about that, because I believe that it's something that people have experienced, but nobody has really talked about it. So there you have it. That just goes to show, like, these communities, not even just the Black community, but any other community, like, it's not for us, because you can't force outsiders to be a part of a community and identify with them. And then the whole time, these people are jealous, they fetishize us, they want to abuse people that look like you, and then they do end up abusing them, and then they gaslight you and use psychological warfare to get you to fight for them. So that's what I gotta say about that. If you like this content and want to hear more from the mixed race and mulatto perspective, be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.